Hello my dear learners, welcome to my channel. In this video series, we are learning Kotlin programming language with practical demonstration. In the previous video, we discussed about what is inheritance, what is the use of inheritance, open keyword and init block practically. To learn that concept, please watch my previous video. Now, in this video, we will discuss about method overriding and super keyword practically. So, let's start the session. Let's understand the super keyword first. So, for that, I am just creating a Kotlin file over here, new Kotlin file, and I will give the file name as super.kt. So, here I have created a file named as super.kt. In that, I have written a function main. Let me just increase some font size to you guys so you can understand it very well. Okay. So here I have created a function main and it will call by the compiler when we compile this program. So here just I have created a function main. Now I am creating a class name as A. Okay. And then a curly brackets. And then I am creating another class name as B. That B class inherit from the A class. So here we are getting error. This type has a constructor, means A is a one kind of data type, a class over here in the OOP concept. So the error is we have created a class A name with a constructor. Okay. You can write a constructor over here also. This is, we can say, a secondary constructor. And in the line number 1, we have created a class A with a constructor. This is called a primary constructor. So when we call this constructor, we need to call a primary constructor also. That is why I have written a constructor colon these over here. This is also we have discussed in our previous video. So to inherit A class into B class, we need to open that class, because by default all the class in the Kotlin will be final by default. Okay. So we need to open the particular class if we want to inherit. So what I am doing is I have just created a class with a secondary constructor and we are getting the error in line number 2. Why? Because we are calling a primary constructor by using that these keyword. So currently you can see over here we are getting two error in the line number 2 and in the line number 5. We are getting error in line number 2 because we do not have provided a primary constructor. And if we provide a primary constructor, we need to pass the parameter to the secondary constructor also. So if you are creating a primary constructor and a secondary constructor, you need to pass an argument to the secondary constructor. Otherwise, it will provide you the error. See over here. Here we do not have provided any parameter. We are getting an error over here. But if I provide a parameter over here, say for example number colon integer, and now you can see there is no any error in line number 2. Okay. Now I am just printing some lines. So for example, it is the constructor of A. So I am writing A constructor over here. And you can print the value of the number variable over here by using $sign. So I have written $number. Over here we are getting the error. This type has a constructor because A has a constructor and we need to call a primary constructor from the base class. Okay. If we inherit a class, so what is the first point? You need to open that class, and if the super class has the primary constructor, then at the time of inheritance you need to call the primary constructor also. This is what the point is. Now we are just near about to discuss super keyword. Okay. So if we remove that bracket over here, we are getting an error. Why? Because we do not have called primary constructor of A class. I hope you are getting the point, my friends. And if we write round brackets over here, there is no any error because we have called primary constructor of A class. Now what I am doing is I have written the secondary constructor of B class also. With argument, there is a, say for example, here I am providing two argument, number colon integer, name colon string. Okay. So you can see over here when this constructor will be called, when the object of B class is created, a constructor of B class will be called. That is also we have discussed in our previous videos, right? So you can watch that also. So colon these I have to write over here because I need to call the primary constructor of the base class. So here I will write colon these will call to the current constructor. Okay. But what I need to do is I need to call the super class constructor. The super class is A, so I need to call the constructor of super class. This is what the use of the super keyword. There is a three usage of super keyword. Super keyword used to call the super class method, super keyword is used to call the super class constructor, and super keyword is used to access the property of super class. This is what we have done in our previous video named as a constructor. Okay, so over here what we need to do is we have created a primary constructor, but we do not need to call because we have called by using these. So these keyword we have also discussed using these keyword you can call to the primary constructor. Okay, so if we write brackets over here, it is giving me an error. So what I need to do is I just need to remove that bracket over here. Super type initialization is impossible without primary constructor. So primary constructor is not called yet over here. Okay, that is why we are getting an error in the line number 7. If we remove that bracket over here, it will not generate any error to me. Okay, now the error is on line number 8 only. So you can see over here on the line number 8 I have written these and bracket. So these keyword is used to refer the current object. That is also we have discussed in our previous videos, right? So currently we are focusing only on the super keyword. So I have told you there is a three usage of super keyword. You can remove that bracket from over here also. See over here we have created a constructor with parameter. It is a primary constructor, and over here we have also called a constructor by using that bracket sign, created a constructor by using bracket sign, and we are calling that constructor from here. So I am just removing that round bracket, and in the secondary constructor of class B I am printing statement like B constructor. I can print the value of that number and name variable, so I will write $number and $name. What we have done, we have created a class A that is inherited by class B. All the properties of class A will be accessible by class B object. Okay, now what I am doing is I am creating an object using variable varb equal to B and round bracket. See over here we are getting an error. Why? Because we need to pass two parameters. First parameter is 100, second parameter is MCA. So you can see there is no any error in line number 15 now. Okay, but here we have the error. No value passed for parameter name. See over here, we do not have passed any parameter for the particular variable. That is why we are getting an error over here. Okay, so what I am doing is I am just removing these and I will write super over here. So super keyword used to call the super class constructor. So that 50 will goes to the A class constructor, parameter name as number. I hope you are getting the flow of this program. It is very important to understand, right? In the line number 8, I have written super in the bracket 50. So what it will call? It will call to the super class constructor with a parameter 50. So 50 will goes to the number variable. Over here we have called with these keyword, these will call to the current constructor. Okay, and if we call to the super constructor, then the super keyword will be used. There are three usage of super keyword. I am repeating that. Super keyword is used to call the super class constructor. You can write these over here also, but we do not have written a primary constructor. Okay, that is why we are getting error. But if you write a super with a parameter, it will call to the super class constructor. So three usage of super keyword, right? Super keyword used to call the super class constructor, super class method, and to access the super class data member, or you can say a member variable. So B is our object. We have created an object of B class by using the B's constructor with parameter 100 and MCA. So 100 will goes to the number and MCA will goes to the name. Before that, the super keyword will work. It will call to the super class constructor. So the super will call to the constructor and 50 will goes to the number variable of A class constructor. So let's run this program. We will get the output definitely for this program. But the flow is important. You have to understand what is the flow of this program. See, we are getting A constructor 50, B constructor 100 and MCA. So we have called B's constructor from our main, but it will call to the A's constructor before the B's constructor. This is what the actual use of the super keyword. If you want to call a constructor of the super class before the base class constructor, at that time the super keyword will be used. Also you can pass the parameter, that is also a way. There is an init block also, you can see over here. We have learned this concept in our inheritance video. Okay, so you can put the init block over here also, that is also we have learned in our previous video. So you can write the print statement over here also. Say for example, here you can write b initializer block. Same you can write, I am just copying this and pasting over here. Same you can write for a class. Here I am writing a init block. Now I am saving the file, and when I will run the file, what will be the output? Can you guess the output? You can write your guessing into the book. I hope you will guess your output something like that. I have written in my notepad of this program. So what is your output, my friends? You can write output of this program in your book and then match with the output. So this init block will be executed before the constructor is called. Over here we have two class. Both class has constructor, both class has init method, and base class is having a super method. So the flow of this program is very important. I hope you are enjoying and learning by using this program, and I hope you are enjoying and learning the concept of object oriented by using Kotlin. So now I am just creating another file. Now I will give you the practical demonstration of method overriding. Okay, if you know about object oriented programming, there is a concept named as method overloading and method overriding. Most of the students have major and minor doubt in these two topics, method overloading and method overriding. Suppose there is a class with multiple method with the same name and different signature is called method overloading. One class have multiple method and these method have the same name with different signature. It's called method overloading. And what is the method overriding, that we will discuss practically in this video. So continue to watch this video. You will definitely understand how to do the method overriding in the Kotlin. So method overloading means multiple method with the same name with different signature in one class only. Okay, if you are creating a class, in that class you are creating a multiple method with the same name and different signature, that is called method overloading. And what is the method overriding? Method overriding, if you want to implement the method overriding, there is a usage of inheritance. You have to use the inheritance if you want to do the method overriding. It is the first point. And what is the second point is? Second point is there is a method with the same name and same signature, but it will be available in the different class. So say for example, there is two class, okay? Both class having the method with the same name and same signature. It is called method overriding. It is very easy to understand, my friends. I will give you the practical demonstration for the same also. So what is method overloading? A class having multiple methods, all the methods having a same name. Suppose there is a class and in that class there is a method, there is multiple methods, and that multiple methods have the same name with different signature. It is called method overloading. Multiple method with the same name with different signature in one class, it's called method overloading. And what is method overriding? Method overriding means multiple class have the same method name with the same method signature. It's called method overriding. So for example, there is a three class. All the class have the method with the same name and same signature. It's called method overriding. And to do the method overriding, you can use the inheritance also. This is very interesting and important concept to understand, that how to do the method overriding in the object oriented fundamentals. So here I am just creating another file to give you the demonstration for method overloading. I am just creating a file named as overriding.kt. Okay, so in this file I will write a code for method overriding. I am writing function main. So it is our starting point of the program execution. Okay, I am creating a class. Say for example, name is Siva. Okay, Siva is a class. I am creating another class. Say for example, class name is Rama. And Rama is also a class, Shiva is also a class, and now I am creating another class, say for example Krishna. So there is three class, okay, we have three class now. Shiva, Rama and Krishna is three class available. We have created three class. We have created our own data type named as Shiva, Rama and Krishna. Rama is inheriting all the properties of Shiva and Krishna is also inherit all the properties of Shiva. So inheritance is there. If you want to do the method overriding, there will be an inheritance. Okay. So what I have done, I have created a three class. Shiva is inherited by Rama and Shiva is also inherited by Krishna. It means that all the properties of Shiva can be accessed by Rama and all the properties of Shiva can be accessed by Krishna. All the method and property of Shiva can be accessed by Rama and Krishna both class. See over here we are getting error. This type is final. So it cannot be inherited. If you want to inherit a class, you need to open that class. Because by default, in the Kotlin, by default, all the class is final class. So you need to open that class particularly if you want to do the inheritance. You can see there is no any error now. We have a three class. Shiva is our superclass and Rama and Krishna is a subclass of the Shiva class. So all the properties of Shiva means a superclass can be accessed by his child class named as Rama and Krishna. I hope you do not have any problem till now. This is what the code we have done before also. Okay, so this code is very interesting and important to understand. Now I am creating a function. Say for example, function prayer, round bracket and curly bracket. See, in the prayer method, I am just writing a print statement, print ln Shiva's prayer. So when I call this prayer method, it will print the Shiva's prayer on the console, right? So there is no any problem till now. But what if I write over here function prayer, same method name, same method signature in the different class. Here I also write function prayer in round bracket, curly bracket. See, we are getting error in the line number 8 and line number 14. Why? Because if you inherit a class in the child class, the method should be open. So prayer hide member of super type Shiva need the override method. What you need to do is you need to override that method. For that, you just need to write the override before the fun function keyword. So the compiler of the Kotlin is confusing now. So what method should I call? Should I call a Krishna's prayer? Should I call the Rama's prayer? Should I call the Shiva's prayer? That is why we are getting an error over here. Because the Kotlin compiler is confused over here. So what we can do now? We have to tell to the Kotlin compiler that this method is a overridden method. Okay? So for that, see over here, the method name is the same for all three classes. Shiva has a prayer method, Rama has a prayer method, and Krishna has a prayer method. Rama is inheriting from the Shiva, Krishna is also inheriting from the Shiva, and we are getting an error, prayer hide member of super type Shiva and need override modifier. So in both the child class, we need to override that method into our child class. That is why we need to write the override keyword before the fun keyword. So if you are creating a function, if you are creating a method, okay, so I will write override over here. See, when I write override, now there is no any error on the name of the method. Now error is different. Prayer in Shiva is final and cannot be overridden. What the Kotlin is saying? Kotlin saying that Shiva's prayer method is also a final method. So if you want to override the superclass method in the child class, you need to open the superclass method also. If you want to do the inheritance, we need to open the class, right? But after inheritance, if you want to override that method, you have to open that particular method also. In our example, the name of the method is prayer. Okay? So Shiva is our superclass, has the prayer method. But if you want to override that method in the child class, So you need to open that method because that method is also a final by default. Because in the Kotlin, class is a final class. If you are creating a class, it will be final. And in the class, if you will create a method, this method will also be final. Okay, so you cannot override that method without open it because it is a final method. So in the Kotlin, all the method is final by default. In the Kotlin, all the class is final by default. So if you want to override that prayer method, you just need to write open keyword over here also. As we have written for the class, we need to write for the method also. You need to open that particular method also. See, there is no any error now. So what we have done? We have opened that particular method for the child class. So now I will write over here. This method has the Rama's prayer and this method has a Krishna's prayer. Okay, so that will print into the console. Now I will work in the main method. What I will do is I will just create an object. Say for example, you can create an object of the superclass also. Say for example, variable means object s colon Shiva equal to Shiva. Okay. So this is the type and this is the object. And after equal to, we have called the constructor of the superclass. That is how we are doing like that. Variable a colon integer equal to 10. We are writing the same for our type. Integer is inbuilt data type. Shiva is our user defined data type. So I have created an object of the Shiva class by initializing the Shiva constructor. Okay. Okay, so you can call a method, say for example, s.prayer. I am saving the file. So you can see I have created an object for the Shiva class and I have called the method name as prayer. So output of this program will be the Shiva's prayer. I hope you are getting the flow of the program. So now let me just run the file. What we are getting? We are getting Shiva's prayer in the output, as I told you, right? Why? Because we have created an object of Shiva and by using that object we have called a prayer. Now what I am doing is, now I am referencing to the Rama. You can do like that also. S equal to Rama. Now that S object is referencing to the Rama's class, not to the Shiva's class. And you can write S dot prayer. So now it will call to the prayer method of the Rama class. Now I am just running the file. You can see we are getting Shiva's prayer and Rama's prayer both. So we have created an object of the superclass. That superclass object can refer to the child class and call the method of the particular class. Now I am writing S equal to Krishna. Now S is pointing to the Krishna and S dot prayer. Now we run the file. What will be the output? Shiva's prayer, Rama's prayer, Krishna's prayer. But you can see we have created the object of the superclass only. And by using that object, we are calling the child class method also by referencing to the particular class. Here I have given you the practical demonstration of a super keyword in this program, right? And see over here, and in this program I have given you the practical demonstration of method overriding in the Kotlin. So that's all from my side in this video. In the next video, we will discuss about abstract class and interface practically. So stay tuned to my channel, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys.